the encounter. He had no idea that one simple gesture would change everything forever. The scent of rain still lingered in the Monday morning air as Ricardo adjusted his backpack strap and walked down Rua Augusta toward his job. At 28, he was used to his routine, leaving home early, squeezing into a crowded subway, and arriving punctually at 8 a.m. at the accounting office where he had worked for 5 years. That morning, however, something caught his attention. 2 girls, seemingly between 8 and 10 years old, were sitting on the sidewalk near the subway entrance. They were identical twins, with messy brown hair and dirty clothes that had seen better days. One of them held a piece of cardboard with childlike handwriting. "Please help." Ricardo felt a tightness in his chest. He knew hardship well. Raised by his mother after his father left the family when Ricardo was just 12. His mother, Donna Maria, always said, "My son, if you have little and find someone with nothing, share what you have. God sees everything." Her words echoed in his mind as he looked at the 2 girls. One, the one holding the sign, kept coughing, while the other hugged her, trying to keep her warm. The chilly São Paulo morning seemed even colder. Without hesitation, Ricardo approached. "Good morning, girls. Are you okay?" They looked up at the same time. Their striking green eyes stood out against their dirty faces. The coughing girl answered weakly, "We're hungry, sir." "I'm Anna, and this is Bia," said the other, pointing to her sister. "Sorry to bother you." Ricardo looked at his backpack where he carried his lunchbox, rice, beans, a piece of chicken, and salad his mother lovingly prepared. It was his only guaranteed meal of the day, as his salary barely covered basic expenses. He hesitated for a moment. If he gave his food, he'd go hungry until night. But looking at their thin, dirty little faces, he couldn't think of anything else. "Do you girls like chicken?" he asked, opening his backpack. Their eyes lit up. "We like anything, sir," Anna replied, her voice filled with hope. Ricardo took out his lunchbox and sat on the sidewalk beside them. "Let's share then. I've got plenty here." He opened the container, and the smell of homemade food filled the air. "My mom makes the best food in the world." The girls looked at him with disbelief and gratitude. Bia, no longer coughing, whispered, "You're really going to share with us?" "Of course, and you can call me Ricardo." He carefully split the meal into 3 parts, giving them the larger portions. "Here, eat slowly." As they ate, Ricardo noticed their table manners despite their situation. They ate slowly, thanked him with every bite, and looked after one another. "How long have you been here?" Ricardo asked casually. The sisters exchanged a quick glance. Anna replied, "A few days. Our mom had to travel, and we have nowhere to stay." Ricardo sensed there was more to the story, but didn't press. "And you don't have any other relatives?" "No, sir. I mean, Ricardo," Bia said, wiping away a tear. "We only have each other." Ricardo's heart broke. He looked at the time. He was already 15 minutes late for work, but it didn't matter anymore. "Look, I need to go to work now, but I'll come back at lunchtime. I'll bring more food, okay?" He pulled a 20 real bill from his pocket, the money he had saved for his afternoon snack and coffee. "Buy something to eat and stay in the shade." The girls looked at the money as if it were the most precious thing in the world. "Thank you, Ricardo," they said in unison, their voices trembling. As he rushed to work, Ricardo couldn't get the image of the 2 girls out of his head. There was something about them that touched him deeply. Maybe the way they looked after each other, or those green eyes that seemed to hold secrets. At the office, he could hardly focus. His boss, Donna Sandra, noticed his distraction. "Ricardo, are you all right? You seem worried." "I'm fine, Donna Sandra. Just thinking about a few things." He decided not to mention the girls. He knew many people wouldn't understand. The morning dragged on. Every passing hour, Ricardo thought more about the twins. Were they okay? Had they managed to eat? What if someone bothered them? At noon, Ricardo rushed out of the office. He stopped at a snack bar and bought 2 sandwiches, 2 pieces of fruit, and 2 bottles of water. He used the money he'd saved for his mother's medication, figuring it could wait. Bonds that form. When Ricardo returned to where he had left the girls, his heart nearly stopped. They weren't there. For a moment, he felt a void in his chest, imagining the worst. Had someone taken them? Were they okay? He walked a few meters and found them under a nearby awning, trying to shield themselves from the harsh midday sun. They saw him approaching and ran toward him. "Ricardo, you came back!" Anna shouted, her eyes shining with joy. "We thought you had forgotten about us," said Bia more shyly. "How could I forget you?" Ricardo smiled, handing them the sandwiches. A promise is a promise. They ate hungrily, and Ricardo took the time to observe them more closely. Despite the dirt and worn-out clothes, there was something refined in their gestures. The way they held the sandwiches, apologized for chewing loudly, and made sure not to waste a single crumb. "Girls, have you ever been to school?" Ricardo asked. "Yes, we read and write very well," Anna replied proudly. "And we speak English and French too." Ricardo was surprised. It was unusual to find homeless children with such an education. "Where did you learn all that?" Again, the sisters exchanged a quick glance. "Our mother taught us," said Bia. She knows a lot." "And where is she now?" Ricardo asked gently. The girl's eyes filled with tears. Anna, the braver one, replied, "She had to take care of very important things. She said it would take a while, but she would come back." Ricardo felt there was more behind the story, but respected their silence. Vulnerable children often created narratives to protect their emotions. "Do you have a place to sleep at night?" he asked, concerned. "We stay under the bridge," Bia pointed out. "It's a bit scary, but we stay close together." Ricardo's heart ached again. The thought of two children sleeping on the street deeply disturbed him. He lived in a small studio with his mother, but maybe he could find a temporary solution. "Girls, I'll talk to my mother tonight. Maybe you can stay with us for a few days until your mom returns." The twins' eyes widened. "Really?" asked Anna. "But we don't want to cause trouble." "You won't be trouble. My mom has a huge heart. I'm sure she'll love meeting you." Bia began to cry softly. "Why are you being so kind to us? You don't even know us." Ricardo knelt to their level. "Because we all need help sometimes. And because you remind me there's still goodness in the world." That afternoon, instead of returning immediately to the office, Ricardo stayed a little longer with the girls. They told him about their dreams and games, how they loved to draw, and how Anna protected Bia when she had nightmares. "You two are very close," Ricardo noted. "We only have each other," said Anna, hugging her sister. "Our mom always said family is the one who cares for you no matter what." Those words stayed with Ricardo for the rest of the afternoon. When he returned to work, he was more determined than ever. He would help those girls, no matter what. At 6 p.m., after leaving the office, he passed by the same spot again. He found them drawing on the pavement with a piece of chalk they'd found. The drawings were impressive for children their age: detailed houses, flowers with perfect petals, people with realistic expressions. "Wow, you draw so well," Ricardo exclaimed. "Our mom taught us," said Bia proudly. "She says art makes the world more beautiful." "Come on, let's go home. I want you to meet my mom." The girls gathered their few belongings, a small torn backpack with some clothes, and followed Ricardo. On the subway, they were amazed by the city's movement, pointing at buildings and asking questions about everything. When they arrived at the studio apartment Ricardo shared with his mother, Donna Maria was preparing dinner. A 52-year-old woman with gray hair always tied in a bun and calloused hands from years of cleaning work, but with a smile that lit up any room. "Mom, these are the girls I told you about," Ricardo said, a bit nervous. Donna Maria looked at Anna and Bia, and her maternal instinct instantly took over. "Oh, my darlings, look how skinny you are." She knelt down and opened her arms. "Come, give Grandma Maria a hug." The girls, initially shy, slowly approached. When Donna Maria hugged them, they started to cry, not from sadness, but relief from feeling a motherly touch. There, now you're home," whispered Donna Maria, stroking their hair. "Let's get you a warm bath and then dinner. I made plenty of food today." That night, as the girls bathed, their first hot bath in days, Ricardo and his mother talked in the kitchen. "My son, these girls aren't like most kids on the street," said Donna Maria softly. "Look at how they speak, how they act. There's more to this story." "I noticed that too, Mom." But I didn't want to push them. The important thing is they're safe now. You did the right thing, Ricardo. Your father may have abandoned us, but I raised you to be a good man. I'm proud of you." When Anna and Bia came out of the bathroom, they looked like different children. Clean, wearing clothes borrowed from a neighbor who had granddaughters the same age, they sat at the table with surprising posture. At dinner, they behaved like little ladies, thanking for the food, praising the seasoning, helping to clear the table. But what struck Donna Maria most was when Anna said, "Donna Maria, your home is so cozy. It reminds me." She stopped mid-sentence and looked at Bia. "Reminds you of what, dear?" Donna Maria asked gently. "Nothing, Grandma Maria. Just that it feels really nice to be here." That night, the girls slept on the living room sofa. Donna Maria had made a cozy bed with blankets and pillows. Ricardo, lying in his room, listened to them whispering before falling asleep. "Bia, do you think our mom is okay?" Anna whispered. "I think so. And now we have Ricardo and Grandma Maria taking care of us. Do you like them?" "I like them a lot. They're like a real family." Ricardo smiled in the dark. He also felt like his family had grown. He had no idea that in the coming days, he would uncover secrets that would completely change how he saw those two special girls. Secrets from the past. The next morning, Ricardo woke up to the smell of coffee and the sound of laughter coming from the kitchen. When he got up, he saw a scene that made him smile. Anna and Bia were helping Donna Maria prepare breakfast, and the three were chatting like they had known each other for years. "Good morning, my love," said Donna Maria, kissing her son on the forehead. "The girls woke up early and helped me with everything." "We learned how to make French rolls with Grandma Maria," Bia exclaimed proudly, holding a small, warm baguette. "And I made the orange juice," added Anna. "Grandma said it's delicious." Ricardo sat at the table, observing the harmony of that moment. It was as if the girls had always been part of the family. During breakfast, he noticed more curious details about them. Anna cut the bread with almost professional precision, while Bia folded the napkin in an elaborate way he had never seen. When Anna spilled a drop of jelly on the table, she immediately cleaned it and apologized like she had made a serious mistake. "Girls, you don't have to be so formal here at home," said Ricardo kindly. "Here, you can just be kids." The two exchanged another look, one Ricardo was starting to recognize. It was as if they shared secrets they couldn't reveal. "Sorry, Ricardo," Anna said. "It's just that our mom always taught us to have good manners." "She must be a very special woman," commented Donna Maria. "You're both very well raised." "She is," Bia whispered, her eyes filled with longing. "She's the most important person in the world." After breakfast, Ricardo had to go to work, but not before giving the girls some activities. He had bought sketchbooks and colored pencils on his way home the night before. "You can draw whatever you want. When I come back, I want to see your masterpieces," he said, kissing each of them on the forehead. At work, Ricardo couldn't focus. His mind was busy thinking about how he could help the girls in a more permanent way. During his lunch break, he started researching social programs for vulnerable children. That's when he got a call from his mom. "Ricardo, my son, you need to come home now," said Donna Maria, her voice sounding strange. "What happened, Mom? Are the girls okay?" "They're fine, but something happened. You better come." Ricardo asked to leave work early and rushed home. When he arrived, he found Anna and Bia sitting nervously on the couch, while his mom held some papers in her hand. "What happened?" he asked, concerned. Donna Maria showed him the papers. "I was washing their clothes and found this sewn into the hem of Anna's shirt." Ricardo took the documents. They were birth certificates, and when he read the names, he almost fell off the chair. Ana Clara Mendonça Silva and Beatriz Mendonça Silva. The mother's name made him choke up. Helena Mendonça Silva. "Girls," Ricardo said, trying to stay calm. "Do you know someone named Helena Mendonça?" They both started crying. Anna, between sobs, said, "She's our mom, but please don't turn us in." Ricardo and Donna Maria exchanged a glance. Helena Mendonça was a well-known name in São Paulo, a successful businesswoman, owner of one of the city's largest construction companies. Her photo often appeared in magazines and social events. "My loves," said Donna Maria, kneeling in front of them. "Your mother must be very worried looking for you." "No!" Bea cried. "She doesn't know where we are, and if she finds out, she'll be really mad." "Why did you run away from home?" Ricardo asked gently. Anna wiped her tears and took a deep breath. "Our mom? She works a lot. We hardly ever saw her, and when we did, she was always on the phone, always stressed. Then came Mr. Fernando," Bea added. "He was going to marry our mom." "You didn't like him?" Donna Maria asked. "He wasn't mean," Anna explained. "But he said after the wedding we'd have to go to boarding school far from home to learn to be proper young ladies. We got scared," said Bea. "We already didn't see our mom much, and then we'd be even further away." "So you ran away?" Ricardo concluded. "We wanted her to notice us," said Anna, crying again. "That we needed her, not money or fancy schools." Ricardo's chest tightened. These weren't just abandoned kids. They were daughters desperately seeking their mother's love and attention. "And you think she doesn't miss you?" Donna Maria asked. "We don't know," Bea whispered. "She probably noticed we're gone, but maybe she's even relieved. Now she can work more." "Oh, my darlings," said Donna Maria, hugging them both. "You're so wrong. I bet your mother is desperate looking for you." Ricardo pulled out his phone and searched quickly. He found several recent headlines. Businesswoman Helena Mendonça offers $100,000 reward for missing daughters. Twins of São Paulo executive mysteriously disappear. Desperate mother pleads for daughter's return.
He showed the headlines to the girls. "Look, your mother is searching for you day and night."
Anna and Bea read the headlines with wide eyes. She really is looking for us?" Anna asked. "Of course she is," said Ricardo. "She's your mother. There's no greater love." "But what if she's mad at us?" Bea asked, still afraid. "She won't be mad," said Donna Maria. "She'll be overjoyed. You'll see." At that moment, Ricardo made a decision. "Girls, we're going to call your mom. But first, I want you to know something. No matter what happens, you'll always have a home with us. You're part of our family now." The girls hugged each other, then hugged Ricardo and Donna Maria. "Thank you for taking care of us," Anna said. "You were the first people to truly see us." "And thank you for sharing your food with us," said Bea. "It was the kindest thing anyone's ever done." Ricardo smiled, remembering how everything had started with a simple, shared lunchbox. Sometimes the simplest gestures are the ones that change lives the most. The reunion. Ricardo dialed the number he found on one of the news websites. His hands trembled slightly as he waited for someone to answer. Anna and Bea were hugging each other on the couch, both anxious and nervous. "Office of Mrs. Helena Mendonça," answered a professional-sounding voice. "Good afternoon. My name is Ricardo, and I have information about Anna and Bea," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. There was silence on the other end of the line, followed by a gasp. "One moment, please. I'll transfer you to Mrs. Helena immediately." Seconds later, a woman's voice, clearly emotional, came on. "Hello? Who's speaking? Do you know where my daughters are?" "Mrs. Helena, my name is Ricardo. Your daughters are here with me. They are safe and doing well." What followed was the sound of crying and relief. "My God, are they okay? Are they hurt? Please tell me they're all right." "They're perfectly fine, ma'am. Fed, clean, and being cared for. Would you like to speak to them?"
"Yes, please."
Ricardo handed the phone to Anna, who took a deep breath before speaking. "Hello? Mom?" On the other end, Helena burst into tears. "Anna, my love, where are you? I've been going crazy with worry. Why did you do this?" "Mom, we're okay. Ricardo and Grandma Maria took care of us." "Who are these people? Where are you?" Helena's voice was a mixture of relief and panic. Anna looked at Ricardo, who nodded. "Mom, we ran away because we were scared of going to boarding school. We wanted to be close to you." There was a long silence on the other end. When Helena finally spoke, her voice was gentler. "My loves, you never had to run away for that. I would never do anything you didn't want." "But Mr. Fernando said—" "Forget about Mr. Fernando," Helena interrupted. "He's not part of our lives anymore. What matters now is that you come home. Tell me where you are. I'm coming right now." Bea took the phone. "Mom, you won't be mad at Ricardo and Grandma Maria, right? They were really good to us." "Mad? My love, I'll be grateful to them forever. Now tell me the address." Ricardo took the phone and gave her the address. Helena said she would arrive in an hour. While they waited, Donna Maria prepared a special snack. "For the girl's mother," she said. "She must be exhausted from searching." The girls were visibly nervous.
What if she changed her mind about us?
Bea asked. That's not going to happen, Ricardo said. You heard her voice. She loves you very much. Anna approached Ricardo. Ricardo, will you still be our friend? Always, he said, hugging them. You changed my life too. You taught me that small gestures can have big consequences. Exactly 1 hour later, there was a frantic knock on the door. Ricardo opened it to find an elegant woman, about 35 years old, with well-kept blonde hair, red eyes from crying, and a look of total desperation on her face. "Where are my daughters?" was the first thing Helena said, her voice trembling. "Mom!" Anna and Bea shouted at once, running toward her. What followed was one of the most emotional moments Ricardo had ever witnessed. Helena dropped to her knees and hugged her daughters so tightly it looked like she wanted to merge into them. All three of them cried uncontrollably. My girls, Helena repeated, kissing their faces. You have no idea how hellish these days have been. I thought I'd lost you forever. Sorry, Mom. We didn't mean to make you worry, Anna sobbed. We just wanted you to pay attention to us, Bea said. Helena stopped crying for a moment and looked deeply into her daughter's eyes. My loves, I always paid attention. You are the most important part of my life. I work so hard so I can give you the best. But we don't want the best, Mom, Anna said. We just want you. Helena closed her eyes, clearly realizing something important. You're right. I lost myself in work and forgot what truly matters. Then she turned to Ricardo and Donna Maria, who had been watching the scene with tears in their eyes. You too, Helena said, approaching with tears streaming down her face. I have no words to thank you for what you did for my daughters. No need to thank us, Ricardo replied. Anyone would have done the same. No, they wouldn't, Helena said, shaking her head. You took in 2 strangers, shared your food, opened your home. That's rare nowadays. She turned to Donna Maria. You must be Grandma Maria. They talk about you all the time. They said you cared for them like a real grandmother. Donna Maria smiled shyly. They're special girls. It was a pleasure to care for them. Helena did something unexpected. She hugged Donna Maria and then Ricardo. You saved my daughters, and you saved me too, because without them I'm nothing. Mom, Anna said, tugging on Helena's dress. Ricardo shared his lunch with us when we were really hungry. He didn't have much, but he shared everything. Helena looked at Ricardo with deep gratitude. You shared your food with them? It was just a lunchbox, Ricardo said, embarrassed. It wasn't a big deal. It was everything, Helena said, wiping her tears. You don't know, but I offered 100,000 real reward for information about them. So many people called just to lie and try to scam me. But you cared out of love. Ricardo was stunned by the reward amount, but shook his head. We don't want any reward. What we did came from the heart. I know, Helena said, and that's exactly why you deserve so much more than money. The girls, now calmer, came closer to the adults. Mom, Bea said, can we visit Ricardo and Grandma Maria all the time? Of course, my love. In fact, Helena looked at Ricardo and Donna Maria. I would love for you to be part of our family. Not as employees or anything like that, but as real family. Ricardo was caught off guard. Mrs. Helena, we're grateful, but... Please, just call me Helena, she interrupted. And please think about what I'm proposing. You changed my daughters' lives, and they changed yours too. This is destiny. At that moment, Anna had an idea. Mom, why don't we have dinner here today? Grandma Maria makes the best food in the world. Helena smiled, a genuine smile for the first time in days. If Donna Maria will have us, it would be an honor. Of course, Donna Maria said, heading to the kitchen. I'll make a special dinner to celebrate the reunion. While Donna Maria prepared the meal with help from the girls, Ricardo and Helena talked in the living room. She told him about the desperate days of searching, how she realized she didn't truly know her daughters, and how work had taken over her life. You know, Ricardo, Helena said, when the girls disappeared, I realized I knew more about my company's projects than my daughter's dreams. That's going to change. They just want your love and attention, Ricardo said. They're incredible kids. They really are. And so much of who they are now is thanks to you. Dinner was a celebration. Helena was delighted by the simplicity and flavor of Donna Maria's home-cooked food. The girls talked about their days there, the drawings they made, and how loved and welcomed they felt. "Mom," Anna said during dessert, "we learned something important here." "What is it, my love?" "That family isn't just who shares your blood," Bia said. "It's who takes care of you with love." Helena looked at Ricardo and Donna Maria. "They're right. You are our family now." When it was time to leave, the goodbyes were hard. The girls didn't want to leave Ricardo and Donna Maria and promised to return the next day. "Ricardo," Helena said before leaving, "tomorrow I want to talk to you about a proposal. You changed our lives, and I'd like to change yours too, if you'll let me." That night, after Helena and the girls left, Ricardo and his mother talked late into the night. "My son, that woman wants to help you somehow," Donna Maria said. "And you know what? Maybe it's time to let someone help you. You've always given so much. Maybe now it's your turn to receive." "But Mom, I didn't do it expecting anything in return." "I know, my love. And that's exactly why you deserve it. The universe has mysterious ways of repaying kindness." Ricardo fell asleep thinking about his mother's words and Helena's mysterious proposal. He had no idea his life was about to change forever. Capítulo 5. The viral moment. Tradução completa. The next morning, Ricardo woke up to his phone ringing non-stop. It was an unknown number. "Hello?" he answered, still half asleep. "Are you the Ricardo who helped Helena Mendonça's daughters?" asked a male voice. "Yes, but how did you get my number?" "I'm a reporter from O Estado de São Paulo. We'd like to do a story about your act of kindness. The gesture of sharing your lunch with the girls is spreading all over the city." Ricardo was confused. "What do you mean it's spreading? You haven't seen social media? Helena Mendonça posted a video last night telling the whole story. It already has over 2 million views." After hanging up, Ricardo quickly opened his social media. He rarely used Instagram, but when he logged in, he was stunned. His inbox was overflowing, hundreds of people trying to contact him. Donna Maria, who had woken up from the phone calls, approached. "What's going on, son?" "Looks like Helena posted our story online, Mom, and a lot of people are seeing it." They found the video on Helena's profile. It had been recorded the night before with the girls by her side. Helena, her eyes still swollen from crying, told the whole story, from the moment the girls went missing to the emotional reunion. "I want you all to know a man named Ricardo," Helena said in the video. "He found my daughters on the street, cold and hungry, and did something that changed our lives forever. He shared the only meal he had with 2 strangers, not for reward, not out of obligation, but from pure human kindness." The video included photos of the girls, with their permission, and a few images of the small apartment where Ricardo lived with his mother. Helena spoke about how Ricardo and Donna Maria had cared for the girls as if they were family. "In a world where people walk past each other without seeing," Helena continued, "Ricardo stopped, saw, and acted. He reminded me that true kindness still exists. That's why I'm sharing this story, to remind us all that we can make a difference in someone's life." The comments on the video were overwhelming. Thousands of people shared their own stories of kindness. Many wrote how inspired they were to help someone, and others simply praised Ricardo's action. "What a beautiful heart this man has. This is what being human really means." I cried. The world needs more Ricardos. Ricardo's phone didn't stop ringing. Newspapers, magazines, TV shows. Everyone wanted to interview the man who shared his lunch. He was completely overwhelmed by all the attention. Around noon, Helena arrived at Ricardo's house with the girls. She looked radiant, a completely different woman from the desperate mother of the day before. "Ricardo, did you see what happened?" Anna said, running to hug him. "Everyone is talking about you," Bia added, just as excited. Helena approached with a warm smile. "I hope I didn't cause too much trouble with the video. I just had to tell the world about your kindness." "It wasn't trouble," Ricardo said, still trying to process everything. "I just didn't expect all this attention." "People are hungry for positive stories," Helena explained. "Your gesture reminded all of us that there's still hope." During lunch, Helena presented the proposal she had mentioned. "Ricardo, I'd like to offer you a new opportunity. My company is growing, and I need someone I can trust as my personal assistant. Someone with the right values, who sees people for who they really are. The salary would be 5 times what you currently earn." Ricardo almost choked on his food. "Helena, I really appreciate it. but I don't have experience in that kind of work. Experience can be learned, character can't be taught, and you have it in abundance. Donna Maria placed a hand on her son's arm. Accept it, Ricardo. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But Mom, I don't want people thinking I helped the girls because I wanted something in return. Helena shook her head firmly. No one will think that. The very fact that you're hesitant proves you're the right person. And we'll get to see you every day, Anna said excitedly. Yeah, Bia added. It'll be like having a pretend dad. Their innocence made everyone laugh. Helena explained the job in more detail. Ricardo would help manage her schedule, attend important meetings, and, most importantly, help her maintain balance between work and family. I need someone to constantly remind me what really matters, Helena said, and you've shown that you know exactly what that is. As they were talking, Helena's phone rang. It was her current assistant. Helena, you need to see this. The hashtag Jacques shared the lunch is trending on Twitter, and several companies are reaching out wanting to sponsor social initiatives. Helena turned to Ricardo with bright eyes. Do you know what this means? Your story is inspiring people to do good. That's priceless. Throughout the rest of the day, they watched as dozens of stories popped up online. People donating meals to the homeless, helping struggling families, and starting food drives, all inspired by Ricardo's gesture. Look what you've started, Helena said, showing him the posts. One simple gesture multiplied into hundreds of acts of kindness. Ricardo was deeply moved. He never imagined that sharing his lunch would have such a big impact. That night, after Helena and the girls left, Ricardo and his mother sat down to talk about the job offer. My son, you deserve this opportunity, said Donna Maria. You've always been generous, always helped those in need. Now it's your turn to be helped. But Mom, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough for this job? You'll be amazing, because you have the most important quality, a good heart. The rest can be learned. That night, Ricardo made his decision. The next day he would call Helena and accept the offer. But he had no idea that the viral spread of his story was only just beginning, and that even bigger surprises were coming that would change not only his life, but the lives of many others. New challenges. 1 week after accepting Helena's proposal, Ricardo could hardly recognize his own life. He now worked on the 30th floor of a commercial building in Faria Lima, wore suits that cost more than his previous monthly paycheck, and had a desk in an office with a panoramic view of the city. But the most meaningful change wasn't material. For the first time in years, Ricardo felt truly useful and valued at work. Helena wasn't just a boss, she had become a close friend, and Anna and Bia were like beloved nieces who visited the office almost every afternoon after school. Ricardo, Helena said, walking into his office one Thursday morning, I need you to come with me to an important meeting this afternoon. It's with international investors for a new project. Of course, Helena. Do you want me to prepare anything specific? Actually, I want you to just be yourself. Your perspective on people has helped me a lot in negotiations. You have a gift for seeing beyond appearances. That was one of the things that most surprised Ricardo. Helena truly valued his opinion, even though he had no formal background in business. She always said that life experience was more valuable than any diploma. Around noon, Anna and Bia arrived at the office, as they did every day after school. They had adapted perfectly to their new routine, studying in the morning at a nearby private school, having lunch with Helena and Ricardo, and spending the afternoon doing homework or drawing. Uncle Ricardo! Anna shouted, running to hug him. They had started calling him that on their own, and the nickname touched him every time. How was school today? Ricardo asked, hugging them both. Great. The teacher asked us to tell a story about someone we admire, Bia said. And we told her all about you. About me? Yes. We told her how you shared your lunch with us, Anna explained, and how you taught us that family is about love. Ricardo felt his eyes fill with tears. Even after weeks, he still got emotional at their affection. And guess what? Bia continued excitedly. The teacher got so moved, she said she's going to start a school project about small acts that change the world. Helena, who had overheard the conversation, smiled. You keep inspiring people without even trying. During lunch, Helena told Ricardo about a proposal she had received. A publisher wants us to write a book about our story. They believe it could inspire a lot of people. A book? Ricardo was surprised. But I don't know how to write a book. You don't need to. They'll provide a writer to help us. We just have to tell the story as it happened. Can we be in the book too? Anna asked. Of course you can, my loves. You're the stars of the story. That afternoon, during the meeting with international investors, Ricardo saw Helena in full command. She was a brilliant businesswoman, but she had changed a lot since reuniting with her daughters. Before, as she herself admitted, she only focused on results. Now she considered the social impact of her projects as well. Our new development won't just be another luxury condo, Helena explained. It will include affordable housing, communal spaces, and a professional training center for young people in the area. One of the investors, an older American man, looked skeptical. Mrs. Mendonça, won't that reduce the project's profitability? That's when Helena looked at Ricardo, who gave her a subtle nod. They had discussed this before. Mr. Thompson, Helena said, may I tell you a story? And then she told, once again, the story of how her daughters had run away, how they met Ricardo, and how a simple act of kindness changed their family's entire perspective. I understand you're here for numbers, Helena continued, but I've learned that sustainable business includes people, not just profit. And I assure you, projects with a positive social impact generate more long-term value. Ricardo was impressed by Helena's ability to tie her personal story into her business strategy. The investors, initially skeptical, were visibly moved. Mr. Thompson, who had raised the concern earlier, was the first to speak after the presentation. Mrs. Mendonça, in 30 years of investing, I've rarely seen someone blend business vision with authentic social purpose. You can count on us. On the way home, Helena said to Ricardo, do you realize how your story keeps opening doors? Not just for us, but for projects that will benefit hundreds of families. It's amazing how everything started with one shared lunch, Ricardo reflected. You know what I think? Anna said, listening from the back seat. I think Uncle Ricardo is like a superhero. A superhero? Ricardo laughed. Yeah. But instead of flying or having super strength, your power is making people kinder, Bia explained. Helena and Ricardo laughed. But deep down, they knew the girls were right. Kindness really could be a superpower. That night, when Ricardo got home, he found his mother watching a TV program that was talking about him. My son, you're a national sensation, Donna Maria said proudly. They just announced you'll be honored by the city for inspiring acts of kindness. Ricardo sat next to her, still processing all the changes. In just a few weeks, he had gone from an ordinary life to a respected position, gained a second family, and become an example of goodness for thousands of people. Sometimes I wonder if all this is real, Mom. It's real, my love, and you deserve every bit of it. But I only shared a lunchbox. You did much more, Ricardo. You saw 2 children when everyone else passed them by. You offered love when they needed it. You reminded the world that genuine kindness still exists. As they talked, Ricardo got a message from Helena. Ricardo, tomorrow we have a surprise for you. Get ready for another life change. He was curious, but decided to wait and see. After all, the latest surprise. The full circle. The next morning, Ricardo arrived at the office and found Helena wearing a mysterious smile. Anna and Bia were there too, clearly hiding something. Good morning, Uncle Ricardo, they said in unison, a little more excited than usual. Good morning, girls. You're acting strange today, Ricardo said, suspicious. What are you up to? Helena walked over. Ricardo, remember I said we had a surprise for you? I do, and I can tell you 3 are plotting something. It's not a plot, Anna giggled. It's something really cool. Helena picked up an envelope from her desk. Ricardo, besides all the changes that have happened in your life, the girls and I would like to make one more proposal. What kind of proposal? Ricardo was genuinely curious. We want to create a foundation, Helena said. The Ricardo Foundation. Small gestures, big changes. And we want you to be the president. Ricardo was speechless. A foundation? Yes, said Bia, practically jumping with excitement. A foundation to help kids on the street like we were. And to help families who need food, Anna added, so no one has to go hungry. Helena explained further. Ricardo, since your story went viral, we've received hundreds of messages from people wanting to help. Entrepreneurs offering donations, volunteers ready to join, families asking to adopt children. There's a wave of solidarity that needs direction. But Helena, I don't know anything about NGOs or foundations. And I didn't know how to be a present mother until you all taught me, Helena interrupted. You learn by doing. What matters is having your heart in the right place. Ricardo sat down overwhelmed. Are you all serious? Very serious, Helena said. I've spoken with lawyers. We already have a location, and we have donors lined up to support the first projects. All that's missing is you. And what exactly would my role be? Just be yourself, Anna said. Take care of people like you took care of us. Visit the children, organize food drives, coordinate volunteer teams, Helena explained. Basically, do on a larger scale what you already do naturally. Ricardo looked at the three women who had changed his life, Helena, Anna, and Bia. Each of them, in their own way, had taught him about love, family, and purpose. I accept, he finally said, but on one condition. What is it? They all asked at once. I want my mom to be involved too. She's the one who taught me everything about kindness and generosity. She's already in the plan, Helena laughed. Donna Maria will be our volunteer coordinator. No one better to teach others how to care with love. 2 weeks later, the Ricardo Foundation was officially launched. The event took place at the same spot where Ricardo first met the girls, Rua Augusta, near the subway station. Hundreds of people showed up. Business people, politicians, artists, but mostly regular folks inspired by Ricardo's story. The mayor gave a moving speech about how a simple gesture had mobilized an entire city. Ricardo reminded us that we don't need to be rich or powerful to make a difference, the mayor said. Sometimes, all it takes is sharing what we have. When it was Ricardo's turn to speak, he was visibly nervous. He had never spoken in front of so many people. Helena and the girls were in the front row, smiling and encouraging him. I'm not a great speaker, Ricardo began, but I can tell you what I've learned. I've learned that small gestures can have big consequences. I've learned that family isn't just blood. It's those who care for you with love. And I've learned that kindness is contagious. When we do good, we inspire others to do the same. He looked at Anna and Bia, who were crying with emotion. These two girls taught me that sometimes people just need to be seen, not just helped. They taught me that listening is as important as giving. And they showed me that true love multiplies. The more you give, the more you have. The crowd applauded, many in tears. That's why our foundation won't just give out food or collect donations, Ricardo continued. We're going to build a network of people who see each other, who care for each other, who love each other. Because in the end, we all want the same thing. To be seen, to be loved, and to feel that our lives have meaning. After his speech, dozens of people came to share their own stories, offer help, or simply thank him. An elderly lady approached with tears in her eyes. Young man, after I saw your story on TV, I started delivering lunchboxes to the homeless in my neighborhood. It's been 3 months now, and you know what I discovered? They've changed my life more than I changed theirs. A young entrepreneur also approached. Ricardo, your story made me rethink my business. I decided 20% of my profits will go to social projects. I want my work to have a bigger purpose. But the most touching moment came from a 10-year-old boy, accompanied by his parents. Uncle Ricardo, the boy said, I saw your story and decided I want to be like you when I grow up. Like me how? Ricardo asked, kneeling to his level. I want to help people. My mom gives me lunch money, but now I buy 2 sandwiches, one for me and one to give to someone who's hungry. Ricardo hugged the boy, deeply moved. You're already better than me, champ. You started helping way earlier than I did. At the end of the event, as the crowd left, Ricardo, Helena, Anna, Bia, and Donna Maria stayed behind at the place where it had all begun. Can you believe all this happened? Ricardo asked, looking around. I can, Donna Maria said. I always knew you had a special heart, my son. And we always knew Uncle Ricardo was a hero, Anna said, hugging him. The best hero in the world, Bia added. Helena approached Ricardo. You know what's most amazing about all this? What? That this story has no end. Every person you inspire will inspire others. Every act of kindness sparks more kindness. Your shared lunch will keep feeding people forever. Ricardo looked at his new family, because that's what they were now. A family chosen by love and united by kindness. He thought about how his life had changed because of one simple decision: to stop, to see, and to act. You know what I've learned from all this? Ricardo said. What? They all asked. That life isn't about what we receive, but about what we give. And when we give with true love, we always receive so much more in return. As they walked together down the street, Ricardo thought about that lunchbox he had shared on what seemed like a distant morning. He never imagined that such a simple gesture would change not just his life, but the lives of thousands of others.